for example, I've had women pay for dates for me before, and look at me, dude. I'm a side character, and look at what I look like, bro. Look at the corona of the shine of my head. Yeah.
I swear that 90% of feminists suffer from some level of cognitive dissonance, because tell me why, when the conversation shifts from the patriarchal norms that apply to women to those that apply to men, all of a sudden the feminism just evaporates from their bodies. And you can tell it's cognitive dissonance because the second the check hits the table, they start to get real creative with the way they justify these norms.
When is this happening?
Women spend so much money on makeup and their clothes and their perfumes. Okay, so if a man did all of those things, if he wore makeup, if he wore designer clothes, are you suddenly paying for the date? No, right? So the argument actually has nothing to do with that. And also, wasn't the latter half of the last decade spent saying that women don't do those things for men, that they don't dress for men, they don't wear makeup for men? What happened to that argument? Or does it just, again, evaporate once the check hits the table? Oh, but I deserve to be compensated for the additional risk and danger of going out with a man. All right. Fair point, right? Men are dangerous, right? Anyone who has female friends knows that they've had weird experiences with men.
Can I just say that, like, the background music is getting,
you're going
something, the background music is something.
What do you mean?
You know, I don't know. There's something about it.
The background music is fucking Red Pill music. This is the same one or two tracks that they have, and they put.
Is this Red Pill music?
Oh yeah, it is 100%.
Yeah.
Percent of that. Real creative with the way they justify these norms.
Yeah.
But women spend so much money on makeup and their clothes for men, that they don't dress for men, they don't wear makeup for men. What happened to that argument? Or does it just, again, evaporate once the check hits the table? Oh, but I deserve to be compensated for the additional risk and danger of going out with a man. All right. Fair point, right? Men are dangerous, right? Anyone who has female friends knows that they've had weird experiences with men. But in the case of dating, right, you're going to a public location, ostensibly a restaurant. This is a person you vetted for their education, for their income, for whether or not they have friends, for whether or not they seem like a sociopath. You've probably FaceTimed them, talked to them, texted them for a period of time, right? The probability that you face any danger during your date, if it's present, was obviously not enough for you to choose not to go. Do you know how I know this? If I personally felt my life was in danger, a $30 meal would never incentivize me to go, right? So that's a
So I think,
this guy is, he just, the way he talks pisses me off, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, I gave him sympathy in the other video. The tone was very different.
Yeah.
He seems incredibly charged on this topic.
He's mad, dude.
Which is not at all the energy that I want someone to bring to this type of conversation at all.
Yeah.
It's just not helpful, but also,
it doesn't do anything.
all of these are like, these are all misnomers. Like, if you've talked to anyone who's genuine about their...
Like, in real life.
Who's genuine about their feminist beliefs or their like ideals, you know?
Yeah.
It is about reaching an equitable and equal a conversation between genders, you know? Like, it doesn't, like, all of this shit I see from people who are...
It's online.
It's online.
It's just you're just online.
It's just online.
Because the gender conversation, it gets clicks online, and people want to be a part of the fight.
Yeah.
But
that's a big thing. Like, because I mean, 90%. I was reading through the comments.
Yeah.
90% of the comments are just other dudes.
Yeah.
Hyping him up, being like, "Oh fuck yeah! Like, why do I have to pay for a date? Whatever, you know. If you don't want to pay for a date, you do not have to. And there are people out there who will date you and will either split the bill or like what you pay for one, the other person pays for the other.
Yeah.
This happens. We don't live in a old. We don't live in an older time. You know, people have financial freedoms broadly.
Yeah.
And if there are people who want you to pay for the date for the first date, whatever, and you don't want to, then you don't have to date that person.
Yeah.
This is like, it's all of these internal feelings I think people have around dating. They bring it and they shove it out online, and it's all of that, like, whatever dating trauma that people have.
Yeah,
and none of it feels genuine.
It's and it's okay to have dating trauma, but like, I think like he's trying to debate bro his way out of this, and like, fundamentally, right? If you are dating somebody, and the whole point of a date is to suss out who they are, what their values are.
Yeah.
What are you compatible?
Yeah.
And if there's somebody who expects a gendered role from you, don't see them again. Yeah. Don't date them.
Yeah.
You know, be like, hey, like, I'm sorry, but like, that's just not my belief system.
And you would be surprised, actually. I think
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, but there are people who don't run that way, who are not like, oh, because it is a patriarchal value to accept that men can only pay for everything.
Yeah.
That is and there are people who there are a lot of women who
There are plenty of women who
do
believe
not
that.
believe that broadly.
And I never dated them.
Exactly.
I never dated them. I don't know.
Exactly. Like it's not yeah, it's yeah. Like if you want, like when I go on a date, if a lot of the people who I've vibed most with, like I'll pay for something and then they will pay for something afterwards, and it feels mutual, by the way.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I'm like they're being forced and I'm being forced. You know, it feels like it's a mutual understanding of this is what we've arrived on. You know.
Yeah.
And also, I want to pay for people. It feels good to treat your friends sometimes.
Well,
or like even like
sure.
other people, you know, it's nice.
But yeah, and like it's and like it's okay to want to do that, right? But like also like for example, I've had women pay for dates for me before, and look at me, dude. I'm a side character, and look at what I look like, bro. Look at me. Look at the corona of the shine of my head. I'm not, and
it's a married man, by the way.
I'm a married man. I don't need to. I mean, it's why I look this bad. But
fucking hell.
But like, but the thing is that he's also saying like feminists are saying this, but like feminists I've actually talked to in real life.
Yeah.
Just don't think that. They're like, yeah.
Here, I mean, this perfectly encapsulated. Feminists here, you're right.
Yeah.
A lot of feminists do acknowledge that men suffer from patriarchy too, which is I completely agree. I mean, and a lot of like especially intersectional or anti-capitalist feminists. This is like broadly the category.
People in masculinity studies. There's Terrence Real, who's a great writer about men.
Yeah. If you enter genuinely feminist, academic feminist spaces, you'll understand that these people are.
You're just mad on people. You're just mad at people for a bad subway take, or like for a like a dumb TikTok or a comment.
These people are incredibly empathetic. That's what I mean. Like the people if you enter feminist academic circles. Yeah. Incredibly empathetic people. Yeah. And
reasonable. And everyone's very reasonable.
And there are a lot of subsections, of course, that exist. Some of them you don't agree with broadly. Yeah. But I mean the conceptualization that wins over the most people is the one that is empathetic towards people. Yeah. That's broadly the most popular.
And like Molly is very like reasonable here. Yeah. But then also look at Bernardo. He's like, that's because feminists tend to operate because he's like feminists are the enemy. He kind of has already put them in.
Definitely.
That Marxist idea of the oppressor versus oppressed applies to gender relations. It does. So logic, if men suffers from X problem or the women perpetrate bad action, no, it doesn't. I don't believe that. I've never believed that in my life.
Right. Yeah.
It's for example, and also patriarchy isn't necessarily like saying that it's like men's fault, right? Even women who are alone with themselves can still perpetrate that system. Yep. It's not inherently against you as a man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like, you just want a benevolent. A lot of people do, but I will say there's a lot of women who do want benevolent patriarchs, and there are a lot of people who claim to be feminists who don't actually espouse those beliefs. Sure.
And for those people,
that exists.
For those people, and they want that. Though I don't agree with them.
Read The Will to Change by Bell Hooks, please.
Yeah, great book actually. Bell Hooks is great. Like for those people, like they can find a partner that lives up to those patriarchal norms, you know. Do I agree with them entirely? No, I think it's.
Do I think that they ought to change their perspective and you should I can have a conversation with them? Sure, maybe if they want to.
Yeah, but I like you can still have some. I don't know. This might be a. I'm gonna take that. I don't know. Like I don't know about it. I have to think.
Okay, I'm curious. All right.
I feel like you can still have. Like some of shit like this, like paying for the first date, like or like some of these like smaller, tend to be patriarchal values in a relationship, and still not like have all of the negative, incredibly negative, like gender-based violence and
Yeah.
and I don't know, like rape culture,
Yeah.
like not be actively for that,
Well-
and actually actively be against it. You
Well,
know?
well, in an ideal, I mean, like in an ideal patriarchal system, I mean, like there wouldn't be. It'd be like the ideal would be like yes, this works because it's peaceful, it doesn't hurt anybody, etc.
Yeah.
Is what people say. Sure, like it can happen, but the idea is that like, you know, like what is the expectation, right?
Yeah.
And like what should happen? Like for example, should you be punished if you're a person, you're like, hey, I don't really feel like paying on a date. Should
Yeah.
you be punished for that? Should you be punished as a person or like be like seen as less of a person or like not being valued? I don't think so, right? I don't think you should be punished for that.
I don't know what you mean.
Like
if you don't want to pay for a date,
yeah. If you don't fulfill the so like for example, like you can fulfill like gendered roles, sure, right? That sometimes that happens.
yeah,
But then should you be punished for not fulfilling those roles? And I think a lot of people believe that you should be punished for not fulfilling those gender-based roles,
Interesting.
basically.
yeah,
And so I'm saying if you don't fulfill what like how a man is supposed to be,
yeah.
you don't have to necessarily like that, you know, I mean like that's between you and your partner and
Yeah.
like I mean obviously you're affected by the whole
Yeah.
soup
Of
that we're in.
of systems, yeah.
And so you might tend towards that.
Yeah.
But then also it's maybe an idea to be like, hey, what if I tried not doing that?
Yeah. Yeah. And then now that I was just thinking about it. Like I mean with this whole conversation here.
Can I like
I
this?
like it, yeah, of course.
I like Molly. You're cool dude.
Yeah. I mean with this whole conversation.
This
in general.
this is also what I'm thinking, bro. Can I like this as
Yeah,
well?
agreed entirely. Like every time the critique of feminism comes online, this is the type of shit that people talk about. It's like a slightly superficial stuff about like who's paying on the date.
Yeah.
But in academic works and in broader feminist work or like broader feminist like organizations and stuff, a lot of people are working on stuff like very serious stuff like gender-based violence and
Yeah.
and rape culture and all of these things which are genuinely affecting people's lives.
Yeah.
And these people have nothing to they don't have enough like I think making videos like this creates a bad light on what the work of those people are actually doing.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly important.
Let's.
You know?
I'm curious to and things that you can criticize people who believe those things. I've heard people say those things,
Mm-hmm.
but like I think that how he's going about it. I mean, like I think it is because you're kind of immediately facing it. Like
Yeah.
we're against you,
Yeah.
but fundamentally,
Yeah.
as I believe it, as every women's issue has a men's issue attached. Right? A lot of people feel like if I speak about men's issues, it's like there's men's issues, women's issue, and
Yeah.
like every women's issue has a men's issue attached to it.
Sure.
Basically, and a non-binary and like whatever. Like it's they're because for example, if you're talking about this, right? Like what is the other issue that's attached to men paying, right? It's the idea that like how does this harm women is that like basically it inherently devalues you in kind of like the economic sphere and like the work sphere because that's not stuff that you're supposed to be looking after. You're supposed to be in the domestic sphere. So that's
Sure.
why the man takes care of it. That's
Right.
why you should be taken care of. And a lot of
Right.
and like that's just how things are. So people might feel like, oh well, that's how I want some to be treated, but they don't really think about it.
Right.
You might be nominally be like, I'm a feminist or whatever, but you might not have really ever thought about it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's and so like, but that's the woman's issue that's attached to it, and then this men's issue that's attached to that is that well, men are expected to be providers and economically responsible for partners.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that these are people act like they're opposing things
Exactly.
when they're actually the same coin.
Wait, no, this is
Yeah.
I completely agree. Like if we were to take this person's argument to its fullest extent
Mhm.
and men are paying for everything,
Mhm.
that is perpetuating, especially in modern day, perpetuating the harmful values of why men are struggling in in dating broadly now.
Yeah.
Is that the economy is hard. It's hard
Yeah.
to make money and expensive.
And if
to
you're a
live.
woman, then you expect a man to be economically.
and then you
good.
also have
Yeah.
that on top, and
Mhm.
then you recreate and perpetuate a lot of the harms that are already happening to other men.
Yeah.
So what is the solution? To ease up.
Yeah.
Ease up. Chill out.
Yeah. We can finish. I mean, there's a minute left. Let's keep going. All right.
I thought we finished it. No.
No, there's a minute left.
Fuck.
Because you wouldn't be going in the first place if
Right.
you genuinely felt like you were under threat.
Actually, a lot of
but
women do-
have to endure pregnancy. Okay.
Also, like a lot of. I mean, like it feels like he has like all the arguments like ready, you know, like
Yeah.
he's got the stuff ready. Also, like there are women who like are afraid to go dating.
Oh yeah.
And like
Oh,
who
yeah.
still go.
Yeah.
And like because they are afraid and they'll have friends
Oh,
and they
yeah.
have all these things and like because you just can't know and like also
Yeah.
like with any man, it is kind of, I'm sorry, like it is kind of like it's a little bit of a toss up.
Yeah.
As
But
someone who's-
also just like even just being in a big city,
Yeah.
going out, like there could be the time in between getting to that place.
Yeah.
Is also dangerous. It's not even the person. It can also not be that
Yeah.
person itself. You know.
Yeah.
But it is a thing.
Yeah.
Do I? Because I've had experiences recently that I feel like I want to take the train.
Yeah.
I'm with a female friend and she's like,
Yeah.
oh, let's take an Uber instead. And
Yeah,
then I was like, okay, like if I was by myself, I would still take the train. It's a little later. It's like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
It's dark, and then I'm like, okay. Then I'm thinking about it in their perspective. Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah.
It's like they don't feel comfortable, which is like valid, you know.
Yeah.
Just like an
Very
Uber instead.
valid. When I was
Yeah.
younger, I was very much like, actually, you're statistically more likely to be attacked by somebody that you know, so you should be afraid of me
Okay, that's
more than you should be of somebody else.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude, I was kind of like him. I was an annoying
Sure.
debate bro.
Yeah,
I
we've
was-
all had that phase.
We've all had that phase, and then
that phase for
and
sure.
then I like started talking to people, and
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm being really unempathetic.
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm being really shitty.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
As I still am, mostly.
Okay, we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's
To some extent.
continue.
First of all, you're not walking out of a first date pregnant, right?
But
Let's just take this down the line of logic just for the sake of doing it.
My
It's
guy.
fundamentally patriarchal to think having a child is something you do for a man rather than something you do for yourself, right? Number one.
Sure.
And number two, no one is forcing you to have a child. But frankly, through all this nonsense argumentation, I'm more than happy to pay, right? But
Can
not
I go back a little bit because I don't know how that came about.
oh, and I've never heard this argument before, but like women have to pay more because they have to go through pregnancy. Sorry, women have to be paid for because they go through pregnancy.
Oh,
I've
also never heard that in my life.
never heard that. I have heard the makeup thing. I don't think
Yeah.
it's a valid argument, in my opinion. I don't think it's a valid argument, but like
Whatever.
the makeup thing, but like, and the pregnancy, I've never heard that in my life. And like, I don't know who he's arguing with. I feel
know.
like, are you arguing with like a specific person?
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like all these. Yeah, it's just stuff that will get clicks. online.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, let's continue.
feels like that.
I'm gonna get some
because
clicks
I'm a
on your
man and
bag.
you're a woman. I'm happy to pay because if it were a friend who was sitting in front of me having a meal with me, I'd be more than happy to pay. If it was a homeless person in the line that I saw who like looked obviously starved and wanted a meal, I would be more than happy to pay because that's what generous, courteous people do.
Yeah,
but
sure.
when you put a gender on generosity and then subsequently call it the bare minimum, I'm sorry, but you're not a feminist.
Yeah.
I swear that 90% of feminists suffer from
What's going on?
I mean, I guess I would. I mean, also, I don't know. I mean, also, there's kind of argument like, can men say if you're a feminist or not, or like, can you be a feminist or are you a feminist ally? I don't actually even know on this case, but I definitely don't think that you can be like you're not I don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, what I think is very interesting though is that his comment section, he postures himself as somebody who is feminist,
Yeah.
but also it's a lot of his audience is very anti-feminist. It's very
Exactly.
it's a very
It's
interesting.
Actually quite interesting. I'm picking up that.
Oh,
on that
cake
for
and
sure.
eating it too, dude. He's getting
100%.
his cake. He's eating it too. This
just-
cake? You want this cake?
Yeah.
Will you eat it as well?
There are waves of feminism. White TikTok feminism does not count IMO. While wanting a man to take care of you is just a preference, and women are allowed to have those. This is true. A true man wanting a woman to cook for him is just they can't even see this. Is just a preference and not patriarchal norm. I don't know what the fuck. Too logical, bro.
I mean, like, also, like, I don't really. It's very funny because people are like, I need a woman to cook for me. I need a guy to take care of me or whatever. Mm-hmm. Those people are like, I'm just like, oh, I know how to avoid you.
Yeah.
And things I know relationships that actually do end up being like fairly traditional, but super respectful between the partners, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let the men pay.
Let the men pay.
This person is saying that
men are paid better. Men get jobs more easily. Men have privilege and opportunities when it comes to. So like this is always a very interesting thing, right? You're using patriarchy to justify the patriarchy.
Right. Exactly.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting. Men are paid better, get more jobs, more privilege opportunities.
Earning sexual.
Meanwhile, as I think,
which is like not even the case anymore. I mean, women are graduating at a college at much higher rates, or not much higher, but at higher rates than men currently.
Yeah, but then what happens is that the fields that they graduate from get devalued because they're because women dominated.
Yeah.
That happens with a lot of fields.
It does happen.
And so like, yeah, like, I think also like you know, like demanding. So like I think. Yeah, this person is kind of just like whack on this thing. Like I think that we have the space to like talk through these things.
He does feel like a secret entertainment fan.
He does seem like a secret entertainment fan a little bit.
Secretly, a little bit.
A little bit.
He probably saw a few of his videos when he was younger, and he was like, "Oh,
yeah."
That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
he agreed to some of it.
Men
secretly
only get paid fair because men work more dangerous jobs and more likely to ask for a raise, more likely to work overtime higher. But then so gender is not even a factor. Gender is actually a factor in this. Somebody won a Nobel Prize in economics for proving that the gender pay gap comes where the gender pay gap comes from, and it's because women have kids.
Yeah.
And it's because like, as a dude, you are. This is a part of patriarchy, right? As a man, you're.
Fuck with y'all too, bro. I fuck with you.
I fuck with you, dude. I fuck with you, dude. I fuck with you. I'll fuck with you if you want.
Stop. Okay. Fuck it out.
But for example, right? Like, as a dude, like you're like, I gotta make money. My value as a person comes from my work, right? Yeah. Especially in a country like America.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, men work and there is something to be said about disposability of men, and like that's a part of patriarchy.
Definitely.
But then also like being more likely to ask for a raise. Like, well, so why, why are like the social systems designed so that it's easier for a guy to ask for a raise?
Exactly.
More likely to work overtime. Well, is a man more likely to do household chores or like have those responsibilities? Yeah. Higher rates workplace fatality also, like that's a part. I mean that also is a thing. Men tend to work more dangerous jobs.
Yeah.
Men are seen as being more disposable, but that's a part of patriarchy. I mean, like, also because things that there's somebody who said like patriarchy isn't actually about men against women. It's about men conquering each other. It's about men versus men.
Yeah,
is a lot of patriarchy, and that's why and because women are objectified as a part of it. The reason that a lot of our conversations about patriarchy we talk about women is because like you're dehumanizing people who are human beings, and they're like, hey, hello, I'm a full person.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of the mechanisms.
Yeah. Well, and then you have to talk about like how it intersects with other forms of oppression, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where I think the conversation becomes interesting.
Yeah.
Like when we stay into just the feminism route, a lot of the conversation gets muddy, and it's hard to actually get to the root causes of some of these I guess problems within interpersonal relationships and as broadly as well, you know?
Yeah.
It's up to that.
If you ask her on the date, then you should pay for a damn date. Well, there's also...
I used to subscribe to this too.
I don't.
If whoever asked the other person on the date should pay for the first date.
How often do women ask men on dates?
I've gotten asked... Oh man, this is so interesting. Maybe once.
It doesn't so things that because of our gender roles...
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't happen very often.
That's why gay men fuck like and get to date very quickly, and I'm not a lesbian, but all I'm saying is that I've spoken to queer women, and they're like, yeah, there's a lot of texting back and forth and a lot of like,
yeah, who's gonna ask the other person out first?
Yeah.
This is unrelated, but have you guys seen the new Code video?
Is there a new Code video? Is there a new Code video? Oh no, I want to see it. Aubrey, I want to. I hope he has a. I hope he. Let's Code. Code is my favorite artist, bro.